Vacation and get some time away from the Air Force on a mini vacation this past weekend. We got to go to the Mendocino region. I got to visit the beaches that run across Highway 1 and drive that stretch of road. And it reminded me a lot of where is my favorite place to go on vacation. It's always been, I was brought up going to Ocean City, Maryland, going to the beach, and it made me think, why do I love the beach and why do I love the coastal region so much? And for me, I found that it provides that relaxation, that overall, not just a break from the job and a break from doing the tasks that we all have to do as we're assigned, in our workspace, etc. But it really just provides me that ultimate reset button. Being on the coast, for example, when I was in Mendocino this weekend, we rented this house from Airbnb. We were sitting in this $1 million house that we paid for 2 nights for, and it was very reasonable at $600. That we were able to view out and take a look out into the ocean and look out into the sands, and I had this feeling just kind of wash over me, just almost like a deep breath, just like a mental deep breath. And that's the kind of feeling I get every time I go to a beach area, whether it be in Ocean City when I was growing up or be this weekend. And it really just kind of at that moment, it's almost I forget about work tasks. I always get to the point where I kind of forget, oh yeah, I'm in the Air Force, so I'm technically always at work. But for now, I'm just going to kind of forget about that for a little bit. And it really provides me that reset to where when I come back into work, I feel refreshed, I feel motivated. I actually felt, oddly enough, excited to open my PDG, which is a little disgusting at this point. Come on, June. Actually, correctly, May 19th, I signed for it the other day. But it wasn't just that, it wasn't just the views, it's also just the kind of the feels I get from the relaxation I get from visiting the coast. It's more or less the sense. You can really smell the ocean water kind of washing up with the winds. It really kind of lightens your senses to kind of give for me the idea that I'm not home anymore. Feels like I've traveled way farther than the 4 hours that I drove. On top of that, just kind of getting used to the landscapes, or just say, for example, the beach. When you're walking across the sand, I'm not wearing my BMT basic boots with the 6-inch thick rubber that runs across of it, that where like I could step on 4 nails and possibly not feel it until one finally pierces the rubber. When you're able to walk on the sand, you really get the sand in between your toes, and for me, that just, again, it's another reminder of I'm getting a chance to break away, another chance to just kind of feel this isn't my normal stomping grounds. I feel this is very important for everybody. For example, it may not be the beach for yourself, it may not be, you may hate the beach for the fear of drowning or the fear of just ocean waters itself. However, I feel like everyone should have that purpose, have that area where they can go to, where they can really hit the reset button, wherever that may be. For anybody, it could be, say, a pastime, like just going to as simple as a baseball game, wherever you can get out of your element, and not only just get away from your job mentally, but almost like get away from it physically. Put yourself in surroundings that aren't similar to, say, the environment to where you're used to having to work. A similar one that's not necessarily coastal, but I found as a backup a lot of times, is if I can't make it to a coastal region, which is always isn't a chance I had, for example, in Germany. Much like this base, Spangalum is in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by farms. So my secondary was always going to a major city. When you go into the site, when you go into a major city such as, for example, down here in Sacramento, or say overseas you go into, especially like a Paris or a London, just the hustle and bustle. If you're not to see with all the cars, it's almost like a sensory overload when you see all the people moving around, and it's more people that you can keep an eye on. Where here, as you stand out in the parking lot in Beale, you're like, there's Tom, there's Sergeant Davis, and there's about 2 other people standing there. We're not a very highly concentrated area as far as personnel in the base. So just getting that kind of different feel, stepping into a major city, really provided me just a different mental break, despite the hustle and bustle of a city. Just kind of lets me get away from the normal operating area that I tend to work in. Additionally, for me myself, when I'm into a city, my favorite of all time to combine both my 2 favorites thus far has had to be San Diego. Absolutely incredible. For me, if I can retire there in about 40 years, I'll let you all know who are around. But it combines both. I step off of the bus or step out of my car in San Diego. I got the smell of the ocean water. I get the hustle and bustle. I almost did a backflip the moment I stepped off before I checked in my hotel. I was like, I need to figure out how to live here. Then I looked up realty prices, and I shed a little tears. But the bottom line for me and for all of you is just have that place where you can go to, legal of course, and be able to escape from the day-to-day grind that we have. As military members, we all know that we're technically on the job 365, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But at least if you can, in your mind, get that mental escape until your cell phone rings because one of your airmen is screwed up potentially, or you're that airman and you're like, I probably have to call my supervisor. At least provide that break for yourself any chance you get. It's helped me, kind of made it through my first coming up on 4 years in a blink of an eye, and I feel like anyone else would provide the same kind of solace for yourselves as well. Thank you.